Welcome to the Pariksha Academy. Today's topic is Physiographic Divisions of India. Physiographic Divisions of India. India possesses remarkable physiographic diversity, created by geological evolution, tectonic movements, weathering, erosion and deposition over millions of years. The present relief of India reflects both ancient stable land masses and relatively young fold mountains. On the basis of geological structure, relief, origin and physical characteristics, India is broadly divided into 6 major physiographic divisions. The Himalayan Mountains. The Himalayan mountains form the great northern mountainous region of India. They are geologically young fold mountains, formed mainly due to the convergence of the Indian plate with the Eurasian plate. The Himalayas extend in an arc from the Indus region in the west to the Brahmaputra region in the east. They are approximately 2,400 kilometers long, while their width varies considerably from west to east. The Himalayan region consists of several parallel mountain ranges, deep valleys, high peaks, glaciers and mountain passes. The major longitudinal divisions are the Trans-Himalayas, Greater Himalayas, Lesser Himalayas and Shivaliks. The Greater Himalayas contain many of the highest peaks and remain permanently snow-covered in several areas. The Lesser Himalayas contain important valleys and hill stations, while the Shivaliks form the southernmost and youngest Himalayan range. Beyond the Dihang Gorge, the Himalayas bend sharply towards the south and continue through the northeastern hills. The Himalayas are the source region of major perennial river systems, including the Indus, Ganga and Brahmaputra systems. Himalayan glaciers store enormous quantities of freshwater and maintain river flow during warmer months. The Himalayas act as a major climatic barrier. They obstruct extremely cold winds from Central Asia and influence the distribution of monsoon rainfall. They also possess considerable forest, hydropower, tourism and biodiversity resources. The Northern Plains. The Northern Plains lie between the Himalayas in the north and the Peninsular Plateau in the south. They were formed mainly through the long-term deposition of alluvium brought by the Indus, Ganga, Brahmaputra and their numerous tributaries. These plains extend for about 2,400 kilometers from west to east. They are among the world's most extensive alluvial plains. The northern plains are generally flat and have a gentle gradient, although local variations in relief occur. They are commonly divided into the Punjab Plains, Ganga Plains and Brahmaputra Plains. On the basis of relief and depositional characteristics, important belts include Bhabar, Tere, Bhangar and Khadar. Bhabar is a narrow pebbly belt along the foothills where many streams disappear into porous deposits. South of Bhabar lies the Tere, a moist and marshy belt where underground streams often reappear. Bhangar represents relatively older alluvium, generally occurring above the active floodplains. Khadar consists of newer alluvium deposited frequently by rivers and is generally highly fertile. The northern plains contain fertile soils, abundant water resources and favorable terrain for agriculture, transportation and settlements. These advantages have made them one of the most densely populated and economically important regions of India. The Peninsular Plateau. The Peninsular Plateau is the oldest and geologically most stable physiographic division of India. It is part of the ancient Gondwana landmass and is composed mainly of crystalline, igneous and metamorphic rocks. Unlike the young Himalayas, the plateau has undergone prolonged weathering, erosion and denudation. Its landscape is characterized by broad valleys, rounded hills, plateaus and residual mountains. The Peninsular Plateau is broadly divided into the Central Highlands and the Deccan Plateau. The Central Highlands lie mainly north of the Narmada River. They include important physical units such as the Malwa Plateau and adjoining uplands. The Aravalli Range forms an important feature in the northwestern part of the peninsular region and represents one of the world's ancient mountain systems. The Vindhya and Satpura ranges form important highland systems of central India. The Deccan Plateau lies mainly south of the Narmada River and has a broadly triangular shape. Much of the northwestern Deccan consists of basaltic rocks formed through extensive ancient volcanic activity, producing the Deccan Trap landscape. The plateau generally slopes eastward, which explains why many major peninsular rivers flow towards the Bay of Bengal. The Western Ghats form the elevated western margin of the Deccan Plateau. They are comparatively continuous and generally higher than the Eastern Ghats. The Western Ghats strongly influence rainfall by forcing moisture-laden monsoon winds to rise. The Eastern Ghats form a discontinuous chain along the eastern margin and are cut through by major rivers such as the Mahanadi, Godavari, Krishna and Kaveri. The peninsular plateau is extremely important for India's mineral resources, containing major deposits of coal, iron ore, manganese, bauxite and several other minerals. The Indian Desert. The Indian Desert, commonly known as the Thar Desert, lies mainly in western Rajasthan and extends into adjoining areas. It is located largely to the west of the Aravalli Range. The region receives very low and highly variable rainfall. High evaporation, sparse vegetation and scarcity of surface water are major characteristics of the region. Its landscape consists of sandy plains, rocky surfaces and numerous sand dunes. Crescent-shaped dunes known as bachans occur in several areas. Longitudinal dunes are also found, particularly near the international boundary. Most streams are seasonal and disappear into the sandy terrain. The Luni is the most important river associated with this arid region. Inland drainage and salt lakes are important characteristics of parts of Rajasthan. Sambhar is a notable inland salt lake associated with the arid and semi-arid landscape. Despite harsh natural conditions, irrigation projects, particularly the Indira Gandhi Canal system, have transformed agriculture and settlements in several parts of the desert region. The coastal plains. India has extensive coastal plains between the peninsular plateau and the surrounding seas. They are divided into the western coastal plains and eastern coastal plains. The western coastal plains lie between the Western Ghats and the Arabian Sea. They are generally narrow because the Western Ghats run relatively close to the western coast. The western coastal region is commonly divided into the Konkan coast, Kannada or Karnataka coast and Malabar coast. Several west-flowing rivers form estuaries because of the narrow coastal plain and relatively steep gradient. Backwaters and lagoons are particularly important features of the Kerala coast. The eastern coastal plains lie between the Eastern Ghats and the Bay of Bengal. They are generally broader than the western coastal plains. They are commonly divided into the northern Sarkars and the Coromandel coast. Major east-flowing rivers, including the Mahanadi, Godavari, Krishna and Kaveri, have formed extensive and fertile deltas along this coast. Lagoons and coastal lakes are also important features, with Chilika Lake and Pulicat Lake being prominent examples. The coastal plains are economically important for agriculture, fisheries, ports, industries, tourism and maritime trade. The islands. India has numerous islands located mainly in the Bay of Bengal and the Arabian Sea. The two principal island groups are the Andaman and Nicobar Islands and the Lakshadweep Islands. The Andaman and Nicobar Islands lie in the Bay of Bengal and consist of a large number of islands, islets and rocks. They are largely considered extensions of submerged mountain systems associated with the tectonically active region between the Indian and Burmese plates. The Andaman group lies to the north, while the Nicobar group lies to the south. The 10-degree channel separates the Andaman Islands from the Nicobar Islands. Barren Island, located in the Andaman Sea, contains India's only confirmed active volcano. Indira Point on Great Nicobar Island is the southernmost point of Indian territory. The Andaman and Nicobar Islands have dense tropical forests, rich biodiversity and considerable strategic importance because of their location near major maritime routes. The Lakshadweep Islands lie in the Arabian Sea, off the Kerala coast. Unlike the Andaman and Nicobar Islands, Lakshadweep is predominantly of coral origin. These islands consist mainly of coral reefs, atolls, lagoons and small islands. The 9-degree channel separates Minicoy from the main Lakshadweep group. Lakshadweep has considerable ecological importance because of its coral reef ecosystems and marine biodiversity. Physiographic significance of India. India's 6 physiographic divisions are closely interconnected and together form the physical foundation of the country. The Himalayas provide major rivers and influence climate, while the northern plains receive sediments and water from these river systems. The peninsular plateau provides mineral resources, river basins, forests and elevated terrain. The Indian desert represents India's major arid physiographic region and demonstrates adaptation to extreme water scarcity. The coastal plains connect the continental interior with the seas and support ports, fisheries, agriculture and maritime economic activities. The islands extend India's geographical and strategic presence deep into the Arabian Sea and Bay of Bengal. Thus, the Himalayan mountains, northern plains, peninsular plateau, Indian desert, coastal plains and islands together explain India's extraordinary diversity in relief, drainage, soils, vegetation, agriculture, settlement patterns, natural resources and economic activities. Thank you very much for joining us. For more useful study material, please like and share this video, and subscribe to the Pariksha Academy channel.